Hey guys, welcome back. So today's a very special video because there's something that a lot of people have been requesting from me over the last couple of years, and I've gone back and forth about whether or not to share about this. I'm at least gonna give you guys a little bit today. Not everything, but a little bit. So this video is going to be all about thrifting and our inn. So if you've been curious and had any questions about the inn that we run and you like thrifting, then you're gonna love this video. So stay tuned. If you're new here, I'm Toni, and I am a homeschooling mom to 4 kids, but I'm also an inn owner, which we call it an inn, but it's kind of like an Airbnb kind of thing where, you know, you check in, you get the whole house, and you don't really see us at all. So we've been running this family business for about maybe 3 years, and it's been really awesome. And I have had a lot of people ask me about it because I'll mention it on here every once in a while. And unfortunately, because of some of the creepy people out there, I'm nervous and hesitant to actually share the name of it and our location and all that stuff, even though it would be great for business, you know, to be able to share that because I have this platform. But my family is more important than money. So I am not going to share the name or the details or even the location of where it is. But what I will say right now, I'm going to give you a glimpse inside of the inn and how we decorated it. And I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to piece things together. If you've been following me, you could probably figure out where this is, and that's fine. But because we don't actually live at the inn. But I will give you this. If you guys see how I decorated it and you have interest and your family would like to come stay at our inn, you guys are welcome to either message me on Instagram, and I will, as long as you don't look like a crazy person, I will let you know the name of our inn and, you know, send you the link so that you can book your stay here. And also, if you are not on Instagram, feel free to just send me an email at ourthriftyhomeschool@gmail.com. So if you really would like to know, I'm happy to share the information. I'm just not going to put that out here on a YouTube video. Maybe one day, if the Lord tells me that it would be a wise thing to do, we may do that. But at this point, I'm still on the fence, so I'm not going to share that. But you guys didn't come here to hear all that mumbo jumbo. Let's talk about thrifting. The reason I wanted to share this is because I'm a big proponent for thrifting. In case you didn't know that, if you are new here, I'm a huge thrifter. Everything in my life is thrifted for the most part, and I love it. And I do it for fun, and I do it for necessity, but sometimes it's just been for fun. When we had enough money to buy things at the store, brand new and whatever we wanted, I still like to thrift. I thrifted anyway. Now we're in a stage of life where things are more out of necessity, and that's fine. So a lot of times I show you guys on my channel a thrift haul. So like I'll go to the thrift store, I'll buy some stuff, and then I'll show you guys what I bought, and you know, just to show how easy thrifting is. I'll show you 3 things today real quick. Hold on. On my way here, I stopped at a thrift store, one of my favorites, and I was like, I've got 5 minutes. I'm going to run in the store real quick, see if I find anything that I could show them on the video. I found 3 books. So there wasn't a ton of stuff. Well, there was plenty of stuff, but there wasn't really anything that I needed. So I'll just show you this just as a quick, like, I don't think I was even in there 10 minutes, but I found 3 books. This one's called Glass House, Shattering the Myth of Evolution. Theory, Myth of Evolution. And this is by Ken Ham and Bodhi Hodge. And this is a master book. So I saw it on the shelf. I'd actually never heard of the title, but I saw master books. I'm like, homeschool. Okay, let's check this out. Well, this was only $1. And it looks like a really good book, and it's actually signed by the author. It was $1. And it looks like a really good book that I could assign to my high schooler to learn about evolution the right way. So I just thought this sounded like a really good book. It was $1. Yay. Okay. So like just showing you guys in a quick thing what you can find. And I know I'm sorry for those of you guys who have crummy thrift stores. I know there's a lot who do. I experienced some of that this past summer when we traveled across the US. I have a video I'll link above just to show you that we did thrift as we went across the US, and it was really fun. But I noticed, I'm like, oh, I know what these people are talking about. Some of these thrift stores are like really expensive or junky or gross and don't have a lot of great stuff, but some were great. So I do try to encourage you guys to keep looking. You may have to go to a different town. If like your town doesn't have anything, maybe go a little bit further. So 2 other books that I found. These both were in the homeschool section. We have like a homeschool book section because there's a lot of homeschoolers in our area. So this looked interesting. It looked like something that would probably be accurate, is all I'm gonna say. So it's called The Politically Incorrect Guide to American History. So it says, you think you know American history, but did you know? And then it's got a bunch of different things on here. The back sounded interesting. I was hoping it was gonna be like a publisher that I recognized, but it wasn't. And I only had a couple minutes, so I actually just did like a quick flip through, and it looks like, most likely, I think it's going to be kind of a Christian, you know, based book, or a right slanted book, which is what I would read. Sorry if you don't read that. Second one I found was the same thing, which is The Politically Incorrect Guide to Science. And I thought, hey, I might as well get both. So Science Myths Busted, it talks about a bunch of different things like global warming, Darwin. Most Christians used to think the earth was flat, different things like that. This was only $1 also. So I spent $3 on 3 books that we may or may not use in our homeschool, but sometimes it's easy to just grab stuff and like if it's that cheap, why not? If I bought these things at, you know, online or something, I guarantee they'd be what? I don't know, $8, $15, something like that. So that was just a quick thrift haul. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna walk you around our inn and show you how I decorated this place thrifting. I would say 95% of the stuff in here was either thrifted or clearance, or we also had, at the time, we had a really cool Bet and Dent store that was like merchandise. It was all like Target merchandise stuff that was super, super cheap. Unfortunately, it closed down and broke my heart, but that closed right after we finished decorating the inn, so that was really awesome. So, backstory, this is an old farmhouse that was a disaster when we bought it. It was like, it needed an entire remodel. We changed everything. My husband did all the work. It was amazing. And once he did everything, put in new floors and walls and drywall, ceiling, redid the ceilings, all the stuff. Then it was my turn. My oldest daughter and I love to thrift, so that was now our project. Finally, he was done and we got to decorate, and that was the most fun part. Now, I'm not gonna give you too much because I don't wanna give away necessarily the name and where it's at and stuff, but as a homeschool mom, it is a book theme. I liked the theme, so you'll see throughout this as I walk you around that most of the stuff has to do with books because I love books. So, you guys ready? Let's go. Front door, here is just the sign, and they lived happily ever after. It was really cute, very book themed, and it was from the thrift store. A really cute one, which, you know what? I don't even know if Annie is a book, but I know it's a movie. And this was just super cute. And I found this at the thrift store. You're Never Fully Dressed Without a Smile from Annie. And I just loved it. That was so fun. Over here, I have, first of all, this bookshelf that we got at that Bet and Dent store that I was telling you guys about. And I loved this. Now, this was a few years ago, so I don't actually remember how much it was, but I guarantee you it was a good deal. I got that plant up there from the thrift store. Then all of these books I have been collecting. Every time I go to a thrift store, if I find a pretty book, or a book that I know is like well known that would be really cool to have here. So those are all thrifted. I've got these were all so beautiful. So some of them I just picked, you know, because they're beautiful, but some of them are just, you know, great either way. Down here, I had gotten all these probably close to 20 years ago, back when I was a teacher. I found these at Target for like, I don't know, they were like $3 a piece, I think, at the time. That was a long time ago, but I had those in my classroom when I was a teacher, and now they're here. And the rest of these were thrifted recently. Here's some more books that were thrifted. I've collected some like cute older books, and you know, some that just, I just liked the look of them. They looked cool. There's some more thrifted books. This is a cool book about the man who wrote Pooh. The Man Who Wrote Pooh, E.H. Shepard. Yeah. Anyway, it's a cool old book. I like old books. I also got this phone at the thrift store. I have one of these at my house, and I just love it. I think it's super cute. So that's also from the thrift store. There's some more books there. And I haven't read all of these. Like that one is not that old, but I took the book cover off and it looks kind of older. If you give a mouse a cookie, you know, that's a cute one. There's some more books down there. There's a huge giant Bible. This is an old dictionary that I got a long time ago, and my daughter actually used to use it in school. I have a picture of her. I'll have to put it here if I can find it, but she used to use this when she was younger, when she had to look up words. And then I finally was like, I need to get a smaller dictionary because that's kind of insane. But anyway, I love it. There's some of my favorite books that I have bought, all thrifting. And this one's cool too. This is a modern medical counselor. It's got like a bunch of old like medicinal tips and things like that. But all those were thrifted. This was just a cool thing. Like, what is that called? But it was a cool like big decoration that's also thrifted. I also think I have almost all of the books in that series of Left Behind. So those were all thrifted also. And then we have a record player that I'll show you in a minute. These are all records that I've been picking up over the years, and they're all also thrifted, like, you know, 75 cents a piece. So that's a fun thing for a guest to have. All the decorations, those are thrifted. So then over here, I've got these frames that I bought those at that Bent and Dent store. And then I just made those pictures there. This is a repurposed jar. There's a thrifted frame where I made that also. These frames were from that Bent and Dent store that were super cheap. I love the floating look of the frame, so those were really cool. So the lights in here, I've got this one, and then I've got that one, and those were actually from Habitat for Humanity, and they were really cheap, and they're really cool, nice lights. I've got this picture above the couch, and this was thrifted also. This coffee table was thrifted. I think it was like 20 bucks at our thrift store. I was so excited about that. Those baskets I got at that Bent and Dent store. The game in there was from the thrift store. There's another floating frame, and I just printed that out, but that was from that Bent and Dent store. This is what we have we have our TV here, and then this cabinet. This used to be like a tall hutch type of thing, and we cut the top off and then painted it gray. So this holds some of the TV stuff. You're gonna be so surprised to hear this, but we bought all the DVDs at the thrift store. So we do have a DVD player here. We've got some series down here. Nobody is using DVDs anymore, so it's actually kind of a nostalgic thing, so it's kind of cool to have that. I've got a few games that I've bought. They're all from the thrift store. Yay. But there's another one of those frames that I got at that Bent and Dent store. I like hit the jackpot, and I love these frames, and they were only a couple dollars a piece. They were somewhere between $2 and $4 a piece, and I was just so excited, and it was really cool to put the art in there that I made. These I think I have a couple of those that I got on clearance at Walmart. This table is really cool. This was from a yard sale. It's an actual working record player, which is really neat. This table, I just loved it. It's kind of like an old desk or something, but I just loved it, and that was from a thrift store. It was cheap. I think it was like $20 or something, but I just liked it. There's another piece of art that's got a quote on it by Tolkien, and that was a frame that I got at that Bent and Dent store. Here's another piece of art that I got at a thrift store. I was so excited every time I found something that was like had to do with books and stuff. I was so excited about that. And then there's two more of those lights that we got at the Habitat for Humanity store. That place is awesome for if you need things like like a ceiling fan or a wall fixture, light fixture, different things like that. They're awesome for that. Got another plant. I've got this old coffee grinder, which I thought was really cool. We've got some of these books that I just thought was cute. Those are all thrifted, and thrifted. There's a couple more books. So anytime I find a cute book, I pick it up, and I brought it here and they've all been from the thrift store. And there is a cute jar that I got from that Bent and Dent store, and that holds all the tea. There's a plant up there on top of the fridge, and that was, I believe that was from that Bent and Dent store, but it was cheap. And then I've got this cute little thing that I got at a thrift store, and that's what we keep the, you know, things that we give them, the coffee and all that, those goodies. These are from a thrift store, and then these, and a lot of these things were new. Like I think when I bought these, they were brand new in the packaging. So don't, any of you guys that are like, oh my goodness, she's so gross. Those were new. They were still in the wrapping, you know, anyway. This was from that Bent and Dent store. There's some cool stuff in this bathroom, but I found this sign, which is the Magnolia, you know, Joanna Gaines. I found that sign at that surplus store that closed, which makes me so sad because they had the coolest stuff, but they closed. They also had this one that I can't remember. I saw it at Target once and it was so expensive for what it was, and I just paid a couple dollars for it. The light here I found on like Facebook Marketplace and love that. This I found at a thrift store, very cheap. This was another one that I found at that Bentonette store, which is right by the toilet paper. I think I found this at that surplus store, but it was marked super cheap because if you zoom in super close, there's like an imperfection, but now that I've pointed out to you, if I'm like far away, you don't notice. And I just thought it was beautiful. By the tub, there's a cute little sign that I got at the thrift store. Yay, thrifting is so fun. And there's our tub. Isn't that cool? Repurposed some stuff. These frames that you'll see, I actually got at Hobby Lobby on clearance. And if you look real closely, I'm gonna tell you my secret. This underneath was our, like, said something. Like, I don't remember what it said underneath. It said something like Happy New Year or something like that. And I just made this and then I glued it on top. So you can't even tell. Isn't that cute? It's a little off-centered, which kind of drives me crazy, but it is what it is. So here's another one. Same kind of sign that I got on clearance because it was like Happy New Year or something, and I just made my own sign and I put it on top of it, and it is so cute. I love it. Okay, here is another one that it looks kind of weird, like how it's wrinkly, but I found this wall art. It was a 2-pack and it was super cheap. I mean, we're talking like $4 or $5 for this pack of 2, and this is huge. Like, there's my hand, you know, this is huge. And I just made this and I put it on the, oops, I just made it crooked. I just like Mod Podged it onto the painting, and I thought that was really cool. I have a desk in here that I got at the thrift store. My husband didn't really like it because it's like old and he'd rather things like look nice and new, but I love it. I thought it was super cool. And I also found this suitcase. I kind of thought that was very Anne of Green Gables-y. So that all goes together. But the suitcase and that were both from the thrift store. That was from that set from Target from a long time ago that I got when I was younger. There's another sign for, that was, sorry about my camera, that was in that 2-pack. So that was really cheap. And then I just put that, I just made the art, glued it on top of that. There's some books. So this is a bunch of Anne of Green Gables stuff. There's some books. I have a Bible in every room. So this is just a Bible that I have here. Here's a couple more books. I actually bought these like forever ago when my girls were little and from IKEA, and I spray painted them and we had them in our house, and then I decided to use them here. So, but the books were, this was from that set that I was talking about and that was cheap. And then this was thrifted, Alice in Wonderland. And then I've got these, sorry about the shadow. I can't really, it's just the way the light is. This also said something like Happy New Year, Feliz Cumpleaños or something with confetti all over it. And so I had to use 3 of the pages and I just did it that way instead. But I actually love how it turned out. That was really cool. But they were so cheap. They were like, I don't know, $1 a piece or something because it was like Happy New Year and past that. So I've got 3 of those here. There's another one and there's another one. And these little jars, turn this on. That was from Walmart. Whoops. That was from Walmart on clearance. And there's 2 jars that I got at that Bentonette store. The little keys I got at a thrift store. And these little bottles that say drink me, like Alice in Wonderland. So we have like this whole theme going on. Oh, this was a Facebook Marketplace find. And I don't remember how much they were, but it was a good deal. I got 2 of them for here. And then I've got 2 books in here. There's an old storybook Bible and then an Alice in Wonderland book. Those were thrifted. These frames were also from that Bentonette store. So this is for, this has the Narnia closet there. That's another thrifted one, and then I just printed that out and made that. So that was cheap. We've got a Bible. Here's the other, this is the other nightstand. And I've got a Bible. This is a beautiful Bible. I got this at a thrift store for just a couple dollars. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? So that was really exciting to find. This is kind of crazy, but I loved it. So we found this at a thrift store and it just seemed cool. I don't know how many people think it's cool or think it's creepy, like haunted baby cradle. We actually had a friend who stayed here and their baby slept in it, which is so sweet. But I don't know how many people actually use it, but it's just, I thought it was pretty. So I got it at a thrift store. This is also a piece of wall art that we got at a thrift store. And then in this wardrobe, I'll just show you this really quick. A friend gave me this, so you guys can kind of pick up on the theme here. Isn't that cool? So that was actually my coat when I was in high school and college, and I used to wear it all the time. And then a friend donated this to the inn, and this is actually like, I think it's real rabbit fur or something. Then I also got some luggage at the thrift store that I just thought was really cute and kind of went with the theme. Here's another piece of wall art that I got at the thrift store. And then over here, I have another piece of wall art I got at a thrift store. I just loved finding all these things that were book related. I'm like, that is just amazing. And then I found this cute, these were separate. I think I got the flowers separate from the pot, but I just thought it was really cute. So that goes in the bathroom. And then this was a really cute basket. I got it at that Bent and Dent store for just a few dollars. So that was, I wish they had more of these because I love it. So cute. There's one question I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to have, which is any of your bedding and things like that from the thrift store? Nothing like that was from the thrift store. So like couches, beds, mattresses were all brand new. Sheets, obviously, comforters, all those were brand new. The only thing that we got from the thrift store was like decorations, which really don't matter. So anyway, in case anybody was wondering, I wanted to go ahead and answer that. I just want you to see, you could decorate an entire house with a cool theme with thrifting. And it was neat. I feel like God gives me these things. Like when we were going through this, I felt like God put those things there. God does little things too. And I love it. And I thanked him every time I found something for the inn, because honestly for us, we put a lot of money into this. You know, we had to buy it. We bought it at an auction, and then it was a lot to, you know, to renovate the entire thing and then to furnish and decorate it. And it was a lot, but God provided, and you can do it really cheap. And that was my goal all along. When we first bought this place, I was like, I'm going to decorate it the thrifty way. I'm going to be cheap. I'm going to make sure that I don't go overboard. I mean, I could have spent thousands and thousands decorating this place, and I didn't. I spent very little. I have never added it up, so I don't know how much it is, but I know it wasn't much. I just wanted to show you guys how we did it and what we actually did, and it was so fun, and it is a fun theme that I feel like people really appreciate. So if you guys are interested, I did not do this to get people to stay at our inn. So obviously if I did that, I would be telling you guys, book at the blah, 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 you know, but I'm not doing that. I'm just doing it because I wanted to show you guys, like, this is probably where I have the most thrifted stuff. Well, my house too. I do have a lot of thrifted stuff at my house. I'll have to give you a tour at my house sometime to show you what all we've thrifted there, because everything is, like everything, not everything, but most of the stuff is. So you can do it. You really can. Make it fun. Here's my #1 tip with thrifting. You cannot go into a thrift store looking for something specific. Okay, you can, but it's not smart. There will be a 1 or 2% chance that you'll find exactly what you're looking for. But if you go into a thrift store and you're like, I'm looking for a sign that says, and they lived happily ever after, the chances of finding that are almost nothing. But if you just go in, often, this was many trips to the thrift store. It was many trips to that Bent and Dent store, because they get new stuff every single week. And this was a year of shopping. So it really, I had been gathering stuff as my husband was working on the inn, and I was doing my best to, anytime I saw something that I was like, ooh, that'd be good in there, and I knew what I was looking for, I knew what theme we were doing, but I didn't know exactly what I was looking for. So don't be closed-minded, or you'll have a lot of trouble finding stuff. But if you are open-minded and you just kind of let your mind be creative and you check often, you could do as well as I did. So I was really proud of myself, and I know my husband appreciated me saving so much money on decorating this place. So anyway, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thrifting is the best. I love it. It is so fun. Even if you've only got 5 minutes and you go in and you grab 3 books, it's still fun and it's great. And this is, you know, could have been $30, but it was $3. So I think it's totally worth it. I love it. Thrifting is so fun. I want to encourage you guys to do it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye.